Okay, somebody asked, I mentioned if you got middle cards, a 1, 6, 7, 8, or it could be a 1, 7, 8, 9. That one works really good. Could be a 1, 7, 8, 9, and you lead the 1. So the dealer has middle cards. So the dealer puts a 6 on it. That makes it count 7. You play your 8 for 15. Well, you see the dealer looking at his cards now. What does that tell you? He sees the run possibility. He's got a 7, but he's not too sure he wants to play it. But by the same token, if he doesn't play it, he misses the whole thing. So he drops a little 7 in there. So now we're up to a run of 3. You got the 15. Your opponent got the run of 3 with the 8 for a count of, with the 7 for a count of 22. And you drop the 9 for 31 for 6. And by the way, you'll outpeg the dealer. If the dealer has middle cards, now I'm just not, you still, the other advantage is you got only a single small card. So if the dealer is playing a double run of small cards, you got rid of the one card that would bite you there too. So it's a very good way to play it. We've had some talk about the 4, 5, 6, 6. You've heard me mention earlier how frequent it is that the dealer who's playing a double run of face cards or playing 10-point cards with a 5. When you're holding this hand, hold 2. If you got a lousy hand, hold 2 6s and a 4 with anything. With a 1, with a queen, with a king. If you got a lousy hand, hold the 2 6s and the 4 together. And don't lead the 4. Don't lead the 4. You lead the 6. If I got 10-point cards, what do I do with your 6? 16. Yeah, even if I got the 5, you think I'll put it on your 6? No way. So you make the count 16, you make it 22. If I got all face cards, I say go. So what do? 5 for 27, 4 for 31. A run, 31 is 5, right? 2, 3, 5. If you got the 5, you can provide it for me, and I'll keep my 5 and get a 15 the next time you play. You follow it? I lead the 6, you make 16. I put the 6 for 22. You say go. In that case, I play my 5 and a 4 for 31 for 5. If I do it the other way and you got a 5, we go 6, 16, 22. You play your 5 for 27. I close the count at 31 with my 4. What are you stuck with? Face card. Yeah, face card. So I play my other 5 for 15 for 3. I hook you for 5 and 3 more. And don't worry about what the 4th card is. I mean, it's nice if it's a 5, but it doesn't make any difference. Keep 2 6s and a 4. If you've got a lousy hand, keep 2 6s with a 4. Now, there are some hands that have great pegging potential, and you need to recognize them when you see them. 4-12, offensive. It shows a number of hands here. It's important when you see these hands that you recognize they have some pegging value. We've already mentioned the 1, 6, 7, 8, the 2, 6, 7, 8, but in this case, we don't have the lead. Our opponent has led a jack, queen, or a king. Don't fall in love with that 11 count. There is nothing to be gained by making the count 11 on a jack, queen, king, or a lead. Make the count 8. Put the 8 on the face card. If the dealer had 1s and 4s, would it be showing you a 10-pointer? No. So your ace is perfectly safe. Oh, 99% of the time. Okay. But what you do, you keep the 6, 7 intact. You make the count 8, and it goes to 18, so you get a go at 18, and you still got the 6, 7 intact. You play the ace to close the count, because you got a card that's playable. but you still got the 6-7. In both of these hands, you still got the 6-7 and on these leads. Played a small card at the end of the play instead of at the beginning. So you got a 2-2-3-4, and the lead is a 10-pointer. The lead is a 10-pointer. What do you put on the 10-pointer lead?
4.
Okay, and why would we put the 4 on the 10-pointer?
So you can hopefully end up doubling your deuces.
Exactly. And the truth is the dealer's not going to ditch the 5 on us. Okay? So we want the dealer to make the count higher rather than lower. So the lead is a 10. We make the count 4 with a 14, 4. They make 24. Even if they got a 5, they're going to make 24. And you say 27, and they say go. These small double runs like this work really slick. Of course, if you had 2 4s and the lead was a 10, what would you put on the 10? The 3.
3.
Why would you put the 3?
23.
Exactly. We want the count to be 27 with our 4. If we put the 2, you give me a chance to ditch my 5, and none of it happens for you. Okay? So look at these. When you pick them up and you're dealing, the pegging potential is quite considerable. You remember earlier we talked about whether you would keep a 2-3-4 with a 9 of clubs, for instance, for 9 points, rather than the double run. If it looks like pegging was important to you, you might want to keep the double run for 1 point less. Even though with the 2-3-4-9 you got an escape card. Depends again where you are on the board. But these little small card double runs like this are good for the dealer. They may result in a 15-2 for the non-dealer. But as a rule, they don't result in much more, unless you just happen to catch the dealer holding a bunch of small cards. But as a rule, they work a lot better for the dealer than the non-dealer. Now this is a great trap play here. I mentioned this 6-6-4-5 earlier. The 8. The 8 is led, and you've got 2 6s and a 4-5. Terrific time to play a 6. And do you know what happens? They squirm to beat Hill. And you know what they do a lot? They pair your 6. I've had it happen a lot. Where rather than play the 7 for 21, see, that's kind of a screwy play, 21 with a 7. Some of them would sooner make the count 20 with the 6, so they pair the 6. I say 26 for 6. What do they say? Go. 31 for 2. 8 unanswered pegs. If you have this hand, you might also want to try this if you have 1-6 if you need pegs. 4, 5, 6 with anything else. If you're really desperate for pegs and the lead is an 8, put the 6 on it, because in that case, maybe you'll have to put a 7 on it. And then you make the count 26 for a run of 4, and you say go, and you play the 4 for a run of 5. So you can get 9. You can get 9 pegs and give up very few in the process. So it's worth trying. It's worth trying if you have that hand and you need pegs. Now, I don't know what other experience is, but do you find there's any advantage when you're holding 4, 5, 6 with a face card to lead to 4?
No, I guess not.
No, it doesn't even work very good defensively, but it is, you can't score 15 on it, whereas you could score 15 on any of the other leads. So, but as a rule, it doesn't work very good no matter how you play it. So if you get an 8 lead, go ahead and try it with a 6 and see what comes of it if you need pegs. You'll be surprised how often it'll work out that you'll get that 2 runs.